Welcome back. This is an N70 stove. In this video, we're going to discuss Eco Mode and Comfort Clima, which you might have noticed on the manual. So understanding Eco Mode. What is Eco Mode? Eco Mode is something that you don't switch on manually. It happens automatically with the N70 stoves. When the stove reaches its set room temperature, it reduces the power and pellet consumption to maintain temperatures using the least amount of fuel as possible. So what the stove does in Eco Mode is the flame becomes smaller, pellet consumption drops, power output is reduced, the room temperature is maintained steadily. As soon as the room temperature drops again, the stove will recognize that. The stove will automatically increase its power to warm up the room once again. For most households, Eco Mode is working in the background at all time, and that's exactly how it should be. So Comfort Clima goes a step further above Eco Mode. Instead of reducing power when the temperature is reached, Comfort Clima can switch off the stove completely, and then it turns it back on when it notices that the room has dropped. So this setting usually works with well-insulated homes, modern homes, rooms that are like heated really well, or that can keep heat very well. In these cases, the stove doesn't need to run constantly to keep the room warm. Next, we'll go through how to activate Comfort Clima if that's something that applies to you. Okay, so we're gonna go into, you click OK. This is gonna bring you into the menu. You go down to menu 03, Comfort Clima. You click OK. So here you can enable it or disable it. So you can use the right arrow keys to go up and down. So when you have it, you click on, click OK. Now this will say stop delay. So this is usually how to set an eco timer, I suppose, for it. The most common setting, I suppose, is between 2 or 3 minutes. So this is basically the amount of time the stove stays in eco mode before switching off completely. So you can adjust the time by here. So you can go up, or if you want to go up higher, you can keep it. That's up to your personal preference. But usually 2 to 3 minutes is what we would kind of recommend. So once you set it to, let's say, 3 minutes, you click OK. So this is the degrees. So next step is how much the room temperature must drop before the stove turns back on. Recommended, you'd probably keep it to, again, 2 to 3 degrees lower than you set your temperature. Let's say you set your temperature to 25 degrees in your room. So the stove would reach 25 degrees. It would stay in eco mode. So then when the room drops to 22 degrees, the stove would then fire back up again. But once it gets to the desired temperature, it will turn off. Don't put if you put it to like 20, if it's at 25 degrees and you put it 24 degrees, the stove is going to start turning on and off very often. So to sum up what happens in Comfort Clima, the stove will reach its room temperature. So we'll just say 25 degrees. You will enter into eco mode. After 4 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever you set the timer to be, once it reaches the desired temperature, it will switch off. Once it recognizes the room has fallen by, say, 3 degrees, the stove will turn back on automatically.